Greetings, brothers, sisters, friends, and foes. It's Easter morning. I'm on Catalina Island on my way out to what we call the casino on Casino Point to enjoy Easter sunrise service. I've come over to help the worship leader, Jonathan, with the audio visual. And on the way there, we're enjoying Johnny Eisenhut as she's playing the Wrigley Chimes up at the Wrigley Chimes Tower, awakening Avalon to the joyous resurrection of Jesus Christ. It's always such a blessing coming back here. The sense of community, everyone draws closely together like family. The church here has just really been blessed. And I really find it a blessing to take part, especially that I can actually serve during their amazing services here. It's sound check time, so I'm just going to kind of give you samples throughout this service and let you enjoy the sights and the sounds.
And on Hardly He's Alive, read on the bridge, it changed from, it goes
Thank you.
But thank her, when my alarm was going off, about the same time she started playing the chimes, so it was pretty awesome. So how many of you are newcomers to this service? Raise your hand. Awesome, thank you. This is great. If you would all take a moment to just acknowledge the person sitting next to you and maybe make a new friend. Tell them your name, and if you want to stand up and meet them or whatever.
Let's give our mayor a hand. Thank you, Annie. I love those boots. My name is Pastor Ron. I'm with the Avalon Community Church. I've been there for a couple of years. I'm here to do the invocational prayers, not the invitational prayer, because we're not inviting God to be here. We know that God already beat us to it, didn't he? Matter of fact, God never left last year, if you want to think about it that way. We're here to do the invocation of prayer, to invoke the name of the Lord, which means to remind us to think of Him, to remind us of the fact that He is here, and to start acknowledging Him throughout the rest of this day, and hopefully every day to come, in the way that He deserves. So please join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, we're in awe, literally in awe, your magnificent power displayed through the entire universe. For through you all things were made, all things have their being. We come before you with grateful thanks, with hearts that long to adore you and to worship.
Creation cries, holy, holy is our God. Sting of death I fear, with His presence here. Hallelujah, He's alive. Hallelujah. You're my helper, my healer, my blessed Redeemer, my answer, my saving grace. You're my hope in the shadow.
Look that way, and we're going to do it 3 times. Ready? He is risen. 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 He is risen indeed. Okay, thank you. You may be seated. You know, as you look over there, you'll see the marine layer that we have. You know, we're grateful for winters. We haven't had a real winter in a few years, and we had one this year. Our reservoir is packed. A lot of our reservoirs and lakes throughout the state are packed. Thank God. How many of you guys were praying for rain this year? Okay, you can stop, all right? Just stop praying for more rain. We're good. We're good. So we've gathered this morning to celebrate the most important day in the history of all history. That day changed everything. Everything. The Gospel of John says this. Early on Sunday morning, while it was still dark, Mary Magdalene came to the tomb. And she found the stone had been rolled away from the entrance. And she ran and found Simon Peter and the other disciple, the one whom Jesus loved. John wrote that, the one whom Jesus loved. And she said, "They have taken the Lord's body out of the tomb, and we don't know where they have put him." So what happens is they go in and take a look at it, and then they take off. Mary Magdalene goes back. So we're going to follow along as Mary Magdalene meets someone who had already changed her life. Who was Mary Magdalene? People would push you away, and so that's what she experienced. But Jesus delivered her from her tormentors. Mary was at the crucifixion. Each of the 4 gospel accounts of the crucifixion and death show Jesus show her there on Easter morning. When she discovered that Jesus' body was missing from the tomb, she was the first person to speak to Jesus after the resurrection. She was the first to describe her encounters with the risen Jesus in an era when women were often ignored. Mary Magdalene said, "If you have taken him away, please tell me where you have put him, and I will go and get him." In the Gospel of Mark, it mentions Mary and other women who bought spices so that they could go and anoint the body of Jesus. But then here's the key. She hears one word. Mary. Mary. That voice she had heard before. That voice is the voice that cast out these demons and these things that were harassing her and oppressing her. That voice was personal because it was for her. Mary. And this morning, he continues to speak. He says, "Annie, Ron, Janaea."
And after being up so early and setting up that sunrise service, then tearing it down, we all come to the Avalon Community Church and celebrate the resurrection of Jesus again. This is the church building that we recently rebuilt. And God has just really, really blessed that endeavor. It's filling up with some amazing people, just such interesting backgrounds, such a diverse group of believers that He's pulled together as a single family here. That is just really a blessing. Before Pastor Ron delivers the Easter message, his wife gets up and reads a book to the young people. Unfortunately, I didn't catch the replies because I was having issues with my camera, but they had some amazing testimony that just showed that they are really connecting with the message of Christ. And having this happen in front of the adults and the adults sit through it really just enriches the whole experience.
One thing they never prepare you for in seminary, following a book reading to children. Always have another song or somebody else speak about, announcement items or something. Thank you, dear. Appreciate it. We read a book on Christmas, too. Do you remember which book we read on Christmas? The Littlest Angel. Had anybody read The Littlest Angel or had The Littlest Angel?
I will always view this as my home, as my spiritual family. As God sends me abroad, I always have a longing to come back and join them for fellowship.
But we have to understand the joy of Easter, the joy of Resurrection Sunday, the joy of Jesus being resurrected from the grave is that death is no more. The songs this morning pointed to that perfectly. Now that death is what? Died. Yes, even death goes through a dying. Thank God. And we do thank God, because He is the only one who can produce that. Hebrews chapter 12. Hebrews chapter 12, verses 1 and 2. Therefore, since we have so great a cloud of witnesses surrounding us, let's also lay aside every encumbrance of the sin which so easily entangles us, and let's run. Let's run with endurance the race that's set before us, fixing our eyes on whom? Jesus, who is the author and perfecter of faith, who, for the joy set before Him, endured the cross. How did Jesus endure the cross and the suffering that He went through on the cross? He did it joyfully, interestingly enough, because He understood what Him going through the cross to the cross meant in the future. It's a point of faith in Jesus Christ. Faith in the future. Faith in God's plan for the future. Faith that if He went through this, He would be experiencing the most incredible joy that there could possibly be.
I want to thank you all so much for your prayer, your support, and for joining me here on this video as we just enjoy the sights and the sounds of Easter sunrise service on Catalina Island and then the following service at the Avalon Community Church. God is doing some amazing things in my heart right now. As He continues to use me to reach others, He is reaching me, and He is really just changing my mind about a lot of things. And I know there's a lot of changes in my future, a lot of healing. And I ask you all to get a hold of me. I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to share with you. God bless you all. I pray that you enjoy a wonderful day celebrating Jesus. Bye-bye now.